All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Sunday, May 14th, Mother's Day, actually. So happy Mother's Day to anybody who is a mother. And let's get this week started off the right way. Let's see what we can set ourselves up for either tonight, maybe going into the early this week, and what makes the most sense. So on Friday, technically Thursday was the last recording. It was a really good night. I posted the results in the chat. I posted the results in a couple of places, uh, just to show people that this shit's working. And everything really went smoothly. I took four trades on NZD USD, Euro AUD, NZD JPY, and what was the other one? AUD USD. And I actually took profit on EA and AU a little earlier than I should, due to it being Friday, and I was just like not sure exactly when it was going to make the move. I thought it was like maybe going to consolidate all the way to the end, and I would just be like, hey, whatever. But I took profit when it was like down here, and it shot down another 50 pips, so I missed out on like a good amount of money on that. And then on Euro AUD, that one consolidated a little bit longer as well, but it did its false move down and then shot up 40 pips higher than where I initially entered. So it played out not the way I had wrote it out. Well, technically it did. It pushed down and then went up, but ultimately it still went in our direction. But the trades that were really, really good last week were NZD USD. That one straight up tanked right after the analysis. There was Euro NZD, which actually was making its move during the analysis. So I couldn't really think at that time. This was actually the pair I wanted to trade, and I missed it. And well, it's not that I missed. I did miss it only because I was waiting for a pullback to come down, but it never pulled back, and it actually shot up about 100 and something, 120 pips, I think, which is wild. So for anybody that caught that, that's awesome. And then NZD JPY. So that one really went down as well. I caught this whole move from here all the way down to the side. So I don't even know how many pips that is. That's what is that? 93 pips? 90 pips? Don't worry about that number. That number is absurdly high. But it was about anywhere between 80 to 90 pips. So it was really good. Wasn't really expecting it for a Friday, but the setups were there and we all took it. Everybody made money, and that's fun. So let's get into what we're looking at for this week. I'm gonna go over, probably just gonna go over all these all the way to the 3-day peak formation highs, because of some of them being continuations and being able to just go that direction. And then we'll kind of go from there. We'll see what we can do. So AUD NZD. I'm going to go over the gold check marks first, because those are the brand new ones that we want to pay attention to. AUD NZD peak formation low. Let's go to the market here. AUD NZD. Okay. So we have a high broken here. Is that broken? It technically is. Well, let me delete this. I need a finer line. Barely. Okay. So this one's still kind of like iffy. Has the ability to shoot up, but it didn't really break this high. It broke this high, which is cool. So if it broke here, right, that means we would want to see it kind of like pull down and then go up a little bit, maybe to retest the same high. It's a little different. The RSI though is showing this thing kind of, it's either gonna do this, right, make its way up and be like somewhat divergent and still go up and take out the high, which could be the false move week beginning, and then we just see it continue down for the rest of the week. But then there's the ability of this kind of like making its way like this, consolidating down to the 50, which it would do. It'll go up, consolidate down till it's at 50, and then it could shoot up. But ultimately, it didn't really take out the high as clear that I wanted it to, so it's stuck in the middle. Let me go to the weekly. Let's see how the weekly formed. It threw wicks. It's not really going down. It's kind of stuck in a triangle. It's kind of stuck in here. So from there, say there, right? So it could just kind of follow that whole trend aspect to the upside still. The EMAs are tight, so that kind of gives this pattern a little bit more validity because when you have the EMAs tight, especially on a daily time frame, price tends to go like this, just bounce in between them. So it's a matter of where are we at right here to dictate whether or not this is actually going to keep going up because of the new peak formation, which shows that this is actually a new low, right? It's a higher low compared to this one. So this could be the actual pivotal point that gives us that direction to trade in this direction for today. It could be Sunday, Monday, going into Tuesday, we see the push up, and then Wednesday, Thursday, midweek reversal, it shoots back down. So this could be one of those playing out right in front of us. 4 hour, it's not divergent, which is fine, and only because it's inside of this triangle wedge. So it's sometimes you're not going to get the divergence. It's not going to be as clear, but the setups are still there. What was the 4 hour TDI? Okay, so the 4 hour TDI shows it outside the volatility band, but not in a sense of reversing back down. It kind of looks like it's going to come back in a little bit, but then go right back up. So I would wait for this to pull back. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a straight shot. I think this might be a little stop hunt area, and then we could see it drop, shoot. Yeah, even the TDI in here. This thing needs to drop a little bit more. So I'd wait for AUD NZD to shoot down a little bit more, and then we'll look for buys going into the London session or late Asian session because I think what is it 7 o'clock Eastern, 7-11. So yeah, that's what I would be waiting for. But there's other pairs, so let's check them out. I'll go to USD JPY, peak formation low. Let's see. Go to the 1 hour. Oh yeah. Yep. So this one was good. The weekly though, I'm glad I didn't take that one thing. I think it was for a sell. Yeah. It had a sell for this day. Peak formation, it broke down to the structure. That was a peak formation, shot up, and you actually could have taken it, and it would have made money if you would have just took it to the recent low. But tight EMAs, it kind of did its own thing, went up, went back down, and then shot up. But now we have a broken high, and I like the way this daily closed. So I would see this going up. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. Broke structure to the upside, and it's overall going up on a shorter time frame. Like when I say shorter, I mean like the daily or the hour, the 4 hour. So we have like this setup, right? And then we have this setup. It's just in a wedge. It's just in an area of just consolidation, but it just based on here, it looks like it's going to continue up just based on that. And I think it's going to retest this institutional zone. So we have the last area of reference right here. So this is the 1 hour. Right here, this candle on the 1 hour was the last push up. So from it went down, and then right here was the marker where it shot up. So this would be the institutional zone, the institutional area. I can further it if I going down a little bit and then zooming out, and you can kind of do like and this is how I draw like some of my take profits too. This is still a solid zone. So like there's a theory, not theory, but there's multiple ways that you could look at this. You could either like if you were to trade this for a buy, you could put your take profit at this candle. You could do the take profit 50% of the way between here and here. So you take the high of where it ends and completely reverses and the low of where it starts. So you go from here 50% of the way, and then you could do it at the very top. Most of the time it hits the first two, but that's just from what I've experienced, from what I've seen. So that would be my take profit zone would be around this. Right there. Which is what? 60 pips, 70 pips. And then this is if it drops, right? Because we have divergence. We have a 15-minute divergence. So this thing could retrace a little bit, false move, weak beginning. And then from here, if it retraces 30-something pips, so about here, you're looking at 183 pips, and the ADR for this is 402. So seems plausible. We just got to wait to see what it does. With the divergence showing up, this could pull back just a little bit, maybe not big, and continue up. So we'll see how it plays out, but I'm looking for buys on this one. And we have NZD Chief. Oh, NZD Chief is back on the map. See this, babe? NZD Chief, one of our favorite pairs right now. Yeah, it's a peak. Yeah, peak formation high. So let's see this. I called it a little late, but it is the right thing. It's funny because I took the NZD USD, NZD JPY. It was all the NZD pairs. All the NZD pairs moved heavily on Friday. That's what caused it. So this move, oh, someone's coming in. This move pretty much set us up. Now the only thing is I gotta see how far this is gonna be, like, because this could still be a push down. It did break the slow. It is divergent though, so that's good. The daily, it didn't actually break any significant structure to the upside except right here. So like this would be like the only spot, the most pivotal spot that it had to break. So it did, and it pulled. So this could just be a pullback overall in the daily, and that we would want to actually see it go up. But the peak formation was set to the high. So I would kind of be careful with this because it does look like it can go back up. So this could be something where it does continue down tonight and then sets the peak formation low again. And then we see some sort of divergence and we look for buy. So false move beginning down and then continuation up. I might have to wait a day to see what this pair ends up doing, because everything in me is saying this is going to go up. But we'll see. 15-minute is divergent. So, I mean, at least in the short term, with the divergence going on here, from here, and then from there up, right? It's showing something where it's going to drop and continue up. So this could be 1, 2, yeah. So this is level 2, right? So we got level, well, actually didn't take this out. So this would all be level 1 because the structure didn't break until like a full clean break until here. But I guess most people would count this as level 1 drop, consolidation, level 2 drop, consolidation, one more day drop, set up for level 3, reversal, back up. So I'm going to wait. I'm not going to get too early on this pair. I'm going to wait to see what this pair ends up setting up for, because I think we could be seeing a reversal set up here to go back up to the upside, which would complete the overall reversal happening on the daily and the weekly, which would be phenomenal. Because if this, trust me, if this sets up for a reversal, it's going at least the first place is going is to the high, which right now is 100 something pips away. So like we can get a solid amount in there. So I'm gonna wait on this. GBP NZD, this one actually had a powerful move up last week and is definitely going to be going up. So let me go to this. So this one is more significant, mainly because it broke 2 areas, right? It broke this high, clean break of structure, change of character, and then it broke this high, which is like the confirmation that this thing is going to keep going up. So what it's doing now is simply just pulling back after going back up to grab this liquidity, and then we're going to most likely see this thing pull down and then shoot up going into tonight or tomorrow. This will either happen during London to New York session or tomorrow during London session. We'll see. But let me look at the weekly because I haven't looked at this pair. The weekly set up a crazy wick for bullish wick. So that's cool. A lot of trap traders in there. The daily hard bounce off of the 50 EMA. That's awesome. With a massive shark fin. So that's a good sign. Major divergence on the 4-hour from down to here. Right. So we got some major divergence. And this all just played in the role of pushing it up. So yeah, we're looking for buys on this pair, guys. This is solid. I'm gonna wait though. I'm not entering on this yet. I'm gonna wait for it to drop down a little bit more because on a shorter time frame it is divergent. So if I go to like the 15-minute, yeah. So you have divergence here going across with a shark fin, right? And then from here, all that's divergent. So we don't need to be trading this for a buy yet. It does need to pull back. And if you see the EMAs here, they're all getting kind of tight. They'll probably end up like in here and up there. And when that happens, price will pull down into that zone for that pullback and then throw a formation and go up. So if we're looking at it in levels perspective, this is level 1. Oops. Zoom out. So you have W, right? Up, V, up, V, and then the M could be right at the top. But this could also break, but I at least know this section is most likely going to happen. So we want to see that level 2 rise. Now it's just a matter of catching the stop hunt low so we get the best entry. So wait for it to stop low or stop hunt low and then look for buys. We have NZD CAD, another NZD pair. Just all NZD pairs. Look, AUD NZD, NZD Chief, GBP NZD, NZD CAD. So it's like they're all repetitive. So NZD CAD, let's take a look. We got peak formation high. One hour. Well, I mean, it definitely broke the structure heavily. All the NZD pairs. So broke structure here. So that's confirmed. It is oversold though. And the EMAs are getting tight. So I need to look backwards. Oh, shows it going down in a higher time frame on the weekly, but I still think this thing's going to go up. It wants to go up. I mean, look at all this trend line liquidity they have, right? When you see trend lines like this obvious, they always want to push past it because they got people thinking it's going to sell. So they got sellers, sellers, sellers. So what they want to do is they want to go back up and mitigate all those sellers, and they want to stop them out for anybody that's holding long-term swing trading. So they might push down maybe one more time, maybe. If they do that, then eventually we're going to be looking for it to buy up, break the structure, and then continue up, stopping on everybody that's caught up to the top. And the EMAs are tight too. So, and that's just the weekly. So that this could take several weeks to play out, but we'll see how it goes as time goes on. Daily. The daily is showing that double top area on the blueberry. It kind of looks like it just wants to go down, but because of how hard it pushed, it needs to pull back. Same thing like GBP NZD, right? It pushed hard back past 2 barriers, like the exact same thing as this. It broke this structure, but it also broke this structure. So it broke 2 price points in one night. They have to mitigate some of these areas. They have to go back up. So we're going to be looking for the false move on NZD CAD and GBP NZD to happen tonight to go up, and then tomorrow we can start looking for those trades. This is either going to happen tonight going into New York session, or it's going to take a day and then happen tomorrow night, and then we just trade it from there. So it's mainly just being patient, I don't usually trade on Sundays, only if there's like something solid, but right now some of these are going to be solid by tomorrow. I would just wait. Look at NZ. Wait, let me finish this pair. See if there's anything else. It's divergent on the 15-minute time frame too. Oops. So you see this divergence? You guys should see it. I talk about it all the time. It should be second nature by now. Divergence, divergence, all the time. Divergence everywhere. And then it shot up. So this is showing, this is early. This is totally looking like it's going to go up. Where, so if you do trade this somehow and it breaks here and you enter when it pulls back, you're taking profit at the Mayo or the ADR high, especially because this still could drop, but it needs to breathe. It needs to go back and mitigate some of that liquidity. So we have some time. You could potentially trade this for a buy, but my advice is to go with the peaks. Go with the peaks. Now we have AUD Chief. It set this up 3 days ago. I'm not sure if these are going to be valid. The best peak formations, especially for the gold check marks, are ones that happen 1 to 2 days. 3 days is kind of, it's borderline pushing it. It all depends on the ADR. So let's check the AD Chief. And it's for peak formation high. Oh, 1, 2, 3. This is the peak formation high. Which makes sense because that's an institutional candle. See that? Pushes price up super hard, inducing buyers, takes it out barely. Like by like a couple, not even a pip. It goes up and hits some stops, hits some people's stop losses. So I would say that this is a valid peak. The trend is it's already down. It didn't really take out any structure. I mean, this did. So this is another thing that we have to like pay attention to is it took out this structure. Did it take out this structure though? Nope. It stayed beneath. So this is still deemed a downtrend. This is still deemed a downtrend. It didn't break the structure. So this is still, most people would think because it broke this structure that it's buys now. But that's not true. It can form higher highs on a lower time frame or on a smaller time, on a bigger time frame like this and still drop overall. Just because it broke this high doesn't make this a higher high now. And then this has to be a higher low. Therefore, you just got to buy it to continue. It's unclear because structure wasn't clearly broken, right? It needs to be so obvious like the other pairs, like complete break. Once you have a complete obvious break, that is when you can be sure what's going to happen next. But when you get stuff like this, anything could happen. And you have to be really crystal clear on this. So this is something that I would wait for because of this. If this is the decide to break, then this is your W, right? And that this would still be, it's not even level 1. I mean, it technically is level 1 only because it broke the structure. So if this is level 2, then we're looking for it to break here. But here's the tricky part is that the market doesn't always move in perfect sequences of W, V, V, M's or M, A, W's. It doesn't always do that. Sometimes you're going to get the W level 1 break and then it continues back down because you're not looking at it from a higher time frame. You're just looking at it from a micro perspective. So you have to zoom out. And that's the problem people see. They see this shit and they're like, oh yeah, it's going to be a buy. It's level 1. It's like, you never know because the overall time frame, it's a daily. It's going to be a sell. It's still down until it breaks this structure. You are not buying this. So even though it says peak formation high, it's still valid for the sell. It's still valid. So as is all the other pairs I was just talking about, you can't really buy them unless there's a solid confirmation of break of structure, which we saw in GBP, NZD, and NZD CAD. But with this is not sure. And the way I trade is if I have that feeling of unsurety, I don't even touch it. You have to be so sure, like we were on Friday. For those of you that watched chart analysis on Friday, you saw how confident I was in those pairs. My wife and I made money. She didn't even watch the analysis. She wasn't on it. She just saw that I took the buy and she took it too. And everybody made money. But it was the point is the certainty was there. There wasn't doubt. There wasn't any doubt. And with this, it's you can try to trade it, right? You can try to be one of those people that sits here and tries to decipher what it does, and then hopefully you're right, and be like, "Look what I did! I was right. Cool. Can you keep doing that?" Because I can tell you, it's better to trade with certainty than it is to try to guess. I mean, you can try to, but you're wasting your time. Just wait for honestly, just with trading, you definitely want to wait for the perfect setup, and that's something that I've been working on for years. Learned a lot of lessons doing making decisions out of lack of patience, if you will. So we have a peak formation high on AUD CAD. Let's check it out. It definitely broke structure, so that's good. So we have 3 days ago. 1, 2, 3. That's the peak formation high. Look at that candle. Notice how these peak formations are usually institutional candle. That one big candle hit the stop losses of all these people here and scared the shit out of people that were in these trades. So that was a push up. That's a stop hunt. Hard push up. And if we go to the 15-minute, we'll probably see three pushes. Oh, 2 pushes. So 1, 2. If we go to the 5-minute, there's definitely 3. But big pushes in that direction hard. Induced buyers hit the stop losses of sellers too early, and then they reversed it. So this is definitely a level. I mean, it's still in a consolidation, but it definitely broke structure. Clear this out. Now here's one thing you need to learn to do. If you can't get clarity on the lower time frames like this, like I'm not gonna lie, this is really choppy, and the EMAs are tight. So like knowing that this is the way it is, I don't usually trade these. But if I'm unsure of the direction when price looks like this, that's when you go to the higher time frames. The higher time frames will give you the clear picture. They just might take a while to play out, and hence why you gotta like be really picky with the pairs you trade. Otherwise, you're gonna stop yourself out too early. We got a monthly. This pair doesn't have a lot of data on it, man. 2020. Why does it only give me 2 years of data? That's weird. Whatever. It's still technically it's stuck in the middle. I mean, look at the EMAs. Ever since this pair was like the last recorded piece of data on here was back here, so it's like it's all do anything it wants in the middle. 80 CAD daily. I don't like it. It's just it did break structure, but it doesn't make any. It could still go all the way back up. Got a shark. It's forming a shark fin. I mean, it could do something like this and go all the way back up, or could do something like this where it goes in and back down again, but it's not clear. I don't like it. So what do we do with pairs that we're unclear about? We don't trade them. So I'm not going to trade it. Then you have GBP AUD. Let's check this one out. GBP AUD. So it broke this structure. It broke this structure. It's retesting this one right now. Yeah. So it needs a little bit of room. It has some room. It has up here. So retest it there. Okay. This could keep going. Look at the weekly. Oh yeah. This is a continuation. So like when I see price do this, here's a candlestick formation that usually doesn't pan out for the specific direction of what people think it might do. It's this. So like when I see a formation where you got the bull candle going up. Here, let me draw this clearly. So we have the bull candle going up. And then we have the bear candle, which is white in this instance, going down, but it doesn't take the bottom of the bullish candle wick out, right? That's the bottom of the bullish candle. It doesn't take it out, it stays above it. Usually what follows is this continuation, right? And that's what we're seeing here. Instead of it going up directly, though, instead of it going directly up like I just drew, it did this. It threw that wick. It threw a little hammer hammer candlestick. So I'm thinking this is going to be buys. Like on a daily time frame, it's buys. That's all important right now. The weekly is showing that aspect of what I just showed you with that candlestick pattern. So that's one that you guys should pay attention to. It's what we would call a this is a zone. So in the future, as price continues up and wants to retrace, it will use literally this zone of that candle as the area of pullbacks. So it's going to break here. Trust me on that. It wants to go up. So we're going to be looking for buys on GA. Truthfully, I like it for a buy. Now it just needs to pull back though. It needs to be in a better position. So it's Asian session now. It's a little premature now. And it's Asian pair and a London pair. Best bet. Pull back. Buy. It's your best bet. So I like it. Now let's do, okay. So those are that. I know you like US 30, Ross, so I'm going to take a look at that pair. US 30. I do. I can tell. Weekly, throwing wicks, but still considered to be up. Daily, more wicks. It's consolidating. It's stuck. The EMAs are tight. Didn't take out this low. It's like a slow, gradual movement down. It's not divergent. So I would continue with the downtrend. I would just keep trading it down. That's your best bet. Like you could probably trade it up because it's doing, look, remember? Here, let me show you that candlestick pattern again that I just drew up. Look. Bullish candle, pull back, not all the way down, and then up again, right? So we would see it does the same thing. So if this is going to be a buy, it's going to use this as a zone right there. That's going to be a pullback zone for when it goes up, and then we'll retrace. So that's what I would look for. Great analysis. Yeah. It's simple. So I mean, short term it's going to be buys. Like this is going to go up again. But then it's going to do something that could potentially look for sell. So I mean, since it's Sunday, if it's going up, that's the false move week beginning. So I would, if you're going to buy it to the Mayo, which is about from here to here. You don't have to buy it right now because I'm not going to tell you to do that. But based on your analysis, you should know when to be looking for that. Let's see if I can find anything on the 5-minute. 5-minute might consolidate a little bit more. I'd say like another push down, and then we got to buy. I mean, look at that. Huh. This looks like a W. It is. Got a W right here. Boom, boom, boom. Level 1, consolidation. Level 2, consolidation. Level 3. And this is on a 5-minute. It's fractal. It's all over the place. It's not even just on the 1 hour. It's just easier to tell in the 1 hour. But this could have been level 1 push. Broke the structure. See how it's all fractalized the same way? Like I look at the 15-minute and the hour, and we just looked at pairs that broke that first level of structure and then broke that second level. And we're like, yep, that's a confirmation. So when I see that push, all this tells me is that short term, we're going up again. So you're going to be looking for, honestly, be looking for buys on US 30. I would say sells, but it looks better for buys. It just short term looks better for buys. It looks like if it's on the third level, third PFL, you think it's proper to trade in down on Monday? it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. I mean, the setup, like Friday, like you saw Friday was like usually that would be what somebody would look for on Tuesday or Wednesday, but that should happen on a Friday of all days. So I wouldn't necessarily care for like the day of the week. I just know sometimes the market makers or institutions like to manipulate price a little bit to set the standard or to set the pace for the week. It's very possible, but it's not always read that way. So you have to be able to determine what you see based off of what price is doing. And everything is telling me buy, at least short term. So if anybody trades US 30, you know what to look for. You think that starting on the week could go up and middle of the week down? Yeah, of course. You could probably do that tonight, where it goes up tonight and then New York session reverses. I mean, because it's overall downtrend. I mean, it's up, right? But overall, like short term, it like you had a higher high here, took out the equal highs, and then it broke this structure right here, lower low, lower high, which was the peak formation, right? I think that was the peak formation. US 30 peak formation high. Yeah, so that's the peak formation. And then 1, 2, 3. It might, this, yeah, this thing could just go up again and then take out the low and then reach down to this low. It all depends. I just know what it's doing short term. So if I go to like, I'm on the 4 hour right now. Ah, look what it's doing here. It always does this thing where every single time, here's that candlestick pattern every time. Look what happened. You have the white bearish candle with the blue candle going up, and guess what? It didn't take out the high of that candle, right? So it for 3 days, or for at least 12 to 15 or 12 to 16 hours, it pulled back, and then what? It dropped. And look what happened again. Big white candle going down, small blue one, a series of small blue ones, all pullbacks, and then it dropped. And now look what we have again. Big bearish candle, small blue one, potentially another small blue one, and then drop. Do you see the pattern? Does it every time. Especially if it's trending, like shit like that. It's, look, big white candle, blue one, drop. Let's see, big white candle, little tiny blue ones, drop. It's over and over again. It's the same thing. So expect that same shit here. Buy, potentially buy, drop. These are like these are some of the candlestick patterns I look for. I don't usually talk about them, but that's stuff that I see. And that's what helps me look and define stuff that's happening on a higher time frame. So that's what we're looking for. Look for it to be like short-term buys, and then look for overall sell. Now let's see. Euro NZD played out really well. Did Euro GBP play out? I don't think that pair moved. So that one's got a 2-day peak formation. So I'm going to go over the twos now. Oops. Euro GBP. I'm going to go over the peak formations that don't have the new trend indicator, only because these ones already happened, right? So, but it's still within 2 days. 1 to 2 days is solid. So I'd say this is still valid for a buy. Peak formation down here with the stop hunt low, took out all the equal lows, so they're not coming back down here. It took out the break of structure. The next one needs to take out is up here, which is, if we're looking at it from a pip standpoint, currently that is 30 pips away, which EG doesn't really move that fast, so that's normal. But I would best think that it's going to be better to drop. Oh, wow, too big. Drop down and then go up. So continuation for Euro GBP. That's what I'm saying. Now, if we go to Euro NZD, because that one took out a bunch of shit. Still a little upset I missed it, but I'm gonna get it back no matter what. So it broke the high. Short term, it broke these highs, right? So it broke here. It broke on Friday after the rise. It broke this side. It broke this high. It broke a lot of highs. So this is definitely going to be going up. It's just more so getting the timing done. And now that it's in between these EMAs and it's getting divergent, we just need to wait for these pullbacks. So if this does decide to shoot up straight, we'll find out. But it could go up a little bit more, then drop and then buy. Or it could do some stupid shit where it decides to not pull back at all and just continue. Very both plausible things. So I'm going to pay attention because Euro NZD doesn't seem to be one that pulls back. It kind of just seems to just, oh, it's going that way, just buy it and it won't pull back. I mean, look, how many times is that? If you look at price over time, the only time it really does any pullbacks is when it's consolidating. Other than that, it's like very minimal. Very minimal. Usually just straight shots. So, and that's something I've noticed with this pair. So this could be a straight shot up, not gonna lie. But I'm not gonna tell you guys to buy it yet. I don't do that. So, but what I'm mainly gonna look for, if I am gonna continue to buy this, is one more push down, and then I'll look for buys. And it's an NZD pair, so it happens during Asian session. It works out. Let's see, NZD USD. No, well, oh, I'm not gonna touch this one because this one, well, maybe I can. It's blinking. That's the only thing. Have you guys noticed this? When it's blinking like that, that means that the trend could be coming to an end and it could reverse. So it's like it's just pretty much warning you, like, maybe avoid this pair. Just wait and see what happens. So I'm still gonna look at it anyway, just to see what it looks like. Now that makes sense. It dropped heavily for 2 days. So this thing needs to breathe. If this thing drops a third night in a row, that's going to be wild. Totally possible. I've seen it happen. Ooh, the weekly. Oh, okay, this might happen. The weekly looks good. I like the weekly. Even though it didn't throw that full candle, right? It kind of might go up a little bit. We'll see. But it definitely needs to pull back, especially since it's in between these EMAs. The EMAs are super tight. So I would say it's going to be safer to wait for a pullback. Otherwise, you're gambling. Otherwise, you're expecting something to happen that does happen, but does not happen often enough to be able to be taking it every single time. Now, the only thing here is that I don't see any divergence on the 1 hour. I see it on the 15-minute, but we'll see. I'm going to pay attention. I got Euro NZD and NZD USD. I'm like, mainly Euro NZD, maybe not NZD USD. I'm going to wait for that. Then we have, I did the NZD Chief. I didn't do GBP Chief. So that's got peak formation low. I just missed that. No, high. So it sells. GBP Chief. This one's slowly going up. And you can just see it, right? Bounced right off of it in consolidation. The ranging, it's all there. I didn't draw these. What the heck is this? So this could go right back up. It makes sense. It's divergent on the 1 hour. For sure on the 15-minute. Nothing crazy positive on the 4 hour, but it's in a position. In a position to be able to go up. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see what I can do with that pair. Now let's do GBP USD peak formation high. GBP. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 2 days of drop, 2 days of break of structure, and it's hitting this low right here. This low right there. Really far down. So it definitely needs to breathe. Don't always expect it to go right up immediately. Even if it's going to drop again hard, at least wait for this. Something like a few candles up for like the next 12 hours or something, then a drop. It's especially on GBP. You don't want to just enter in early. This thing can stop hunt like a motherfucker. Can move fast. So I'm gonna wait for a stop hunt on this. I might not even trade it because I've been liking the other pairs, but definitely wait for a stop hunt out of the box, just like this. This was perfect. Shot out of the box, 1, 2, 3, M formation, drop. So that worked out. So we'll see what happens with that. Euro AUD. Does this one want to continue, or what do we want to do with this one? This one looks like it's going to continue, just off of how the pattern looks. It didn't move as fast, but for sure, definitely wants to continue. Let me see. Did it break the structure? At the top? It did not. So it has room. And because it didn't touch it yet, it only kind of shows me a little bit more proof that it can still rise. Oh, wait. Okay. Now I see. I remember. So the daily, this is interesting. I didn't see this last week, but if we're looking at this from break of structure standpoint, this was structure here and it broke through it. So this was the peak, and this is the break of structure to the low for it to pull back to drop again. So I need to correct that. I don't want to keep looking for buys. I need to look for a stop hunt high and a reversal. If it does go up, it's going to be one of these. See how it like kind of consolidated its way up in this whole day. We could see something like that again, where it just kind of gradually goes up, and you're just sitting there waiting to see what it's going to do and then drop. Or it could work its way up to the ADR high for the next couple days, and then Tuesday, Wednesday comes along, and then it drops. Got to be careful. But at the moment, from what I'm seeing, it looks like it could just keep going up. So I don't think it's going to be a straight drop. It needs to stop hunt a little higher, and then they'll go and drop it. Probably see it around Tuesday. Or it could happen tonight if there's a hard push. If there's a hard push up, that is for sure the sign. They're trying to induce you. They want to induce you, bro. How low can you go? Perfect. Yeah. So I would just wait for that. And then I'll be looking for sells. The weekly of enclosed bears too. This is just a pullback. We shall see. I'll wait until tomorrow to see what this does actually. NZDJPY, AUDUSD. I'll do these last few pairs and I'll stop. Peak formation high. That the pair I was just looking at, right? Yeah, NZDJPY. Peak formation high. Okay. It didn't break the low, so it still could be an uptrend. Weekly looks the same as the other pair. Could just pull up. It's not divergent. 4 hours isn't even looking good for divergence. 1 hour looks better, but still short term, it's oversold. I would say we just gotta wait. Because this could be the level 3 actually. Because we have 1 day drop, level 1 consolidation, level 2 consolidation, level 3 W back up. So I'm waiting on this. I'm not trading this for continued sell. I think these pairs are going to reverse. So I might wait actually tonight. I'm probably not going to trade tonight, to be honest, because I don't want to get premature on this shit. And then AUD USD. Ugh. So this one dropped hard too. It's still overall, well, stuck in the middle. It's ranging on a daily time frame. Looks like it wants to continue down on the higher time frames. Month close week bearish. I like the way the weekly, yeah. So I think this is going to continue to be bearish, but like the other ones, I think it needs to pull up a little bit. It looks like it's actually getting ready for that break up, which is good. So we'll see a break up tonight, and then we can sell it back down. Because this doesn't form these base pairs, they don't do little tiny W like patterns like this and then reverse. Like they do significantly big patterns. So like this is the first leg, back up, second leg, then it goes up. So that second leg could happen during New York session. They're not going to just shoot it up from here like that. And then they're not going to do that. It's not a pattern. So they're going to shoot up, come back down, and either do that or they're going to continue and they're just going to shoot up and then break structure and continue. We will see. We will see. And yeah, I'm good on the rest of the pairs. What did gold end up doing? Well, it ended up dropping to the low right here. Only took a week. And then GJ, I'll finish here. Don't really like it. This got to stop on high again. This is going to continue. I've seen this pattern too many times. You can't see that. This is going to go up. Everyone thinks that, oh, it's look at these equal highs. You got equal highs right there. They're going to break that shit. They're not going to go down. They're going to break it. And it looks like they're about to break it, to be honest. So they'll break it up. And then if it's going to sell again because of the peak formation high, they'll go up to a certain point, then they'll reverse it. So I would look for sell. And that's just off of what I saw on TradingView. I didn't even look at the in-depth aspect. I'll do this one, then I'm done. Promise. Yeah, they're totally going to break up. They're just not meant to be together. 1 hour. Did it break this structure? Technically, not a lot, but it did. And the TDI, look at the TDI. This thing is obvious. It's going to go up. Oversold, drop. They're going to go up with GJ. Short term, not sure how far though, but they might fill up the gaps up here in this zone. They could do this entire zone actually. Or they're going to go up to here. Which didn't even see that. Goes up to the ADR high. So it's very possible it goes up to the ADR high just to fulfill the order, the liquidity that's up here. And then they can go right back down. So with that being said, I think I'm going to end it here. If you guys have questions, let me know in the chat. Comment on the YouTube. And if you're watching this on YouTube, give us a follow, subscribe, check us out, see what we're doing, see what we're going to be doing. It's going to be fun. But I'll let you guys go. Let's get a good week going. And if you guys have any doubts for tonight, just wait till tomorrow. Don't try to force a trade, and then we will get back at it. We got a whole week to prepare. So see you guys in the chat, and I'll see you guys on the next video tomorrow. Peace.